Are you new to Adobe InDesign? Are you finding it challenging to learn Adobe InDesign? Then look no further. I make simplified tutorials on every topic related to Adobe InDesign that will make you expert in no time. With that being said, let's get into it. New InDesign document. Before creating a brand new Adobe InDesign document, you must definitely know who uses it and why we use it. Adobe InDesign is desktop publishing software, which means page layout software. It is responsible for combining text, images, and other graphics on a page to add an appeal to the layout design. Now, this is different software compared to Photoshop and Illustrator, as those applications don't deal with the pages. To learn the differences between Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, I have added the tutorial link in the description. Who uses InDesign? Graphic designers mainly use it for making newsletters, reports, books, and other long document materials. To create a new InDesign document, obviously, you should open the InDesign first. After launching InDesign, you would see the blank interface, something like this on your screen. Now, there are three ways you can create InDesign document. First one is from the top menu bar, New and Document. Shortcut key is Ctrl N. As a beginner, let's not focus on book and library. Obviously, they have their own purposes. For now, we need to create a document. Then you will get New Document dialog box. I will explain each of these options in a moment. Second one is the home screen itself. The Create New button, which is present at the left side of the home screen. Click on it. You will be redirected to the New Document dialog box the same way. Third one is to use the Save presets in your home screen. You will be redirected to the New Document dialog box the same way. Let's just concentrate on the first method. After New Document dialog box had opened, take a look at the top of this dialog box. Recent, Saved, Print, Web and Mobile. These are called intents. They let you decide the purpose for creating InDesign document. If your goal is to print the document, such as newsletters, then you should go for print option. The sizes vary by A4, A3 and B3 and so on. If you want to design ebook and PDF files, then go for web and mobile. The sizes vary from iPhone size, tabloids, video resolution and so on. Recent intent contains all the presets that you had used recently for your InDesign documents. Saved intent is basically all those presets that you composed yourself, which I will explain later in this tutorial. Now, if you cannot find these presets over here, you should click on View All Presets. Depending on your choice, InDesign will recommend you page sizes and increments for your document, such as inches, pixels, millimeters, and so on. Now, focus on the right side of your New Document dialog box. This is Specify Options. Below Preset Details, you can write the name for your InDesign document. Let's say I want to create a trifold brochure. So, let's write Business Brochure over here. By the way, you are free to give it any name you want. There are so many things over here. Just make sure that all your settings are appropriate, because some of the settings are not likely to change later. However, some of these settings can be changed anytime, which I will explain later in this tutorial. The first thing you must decide is the size of the page. Now, I have experienced many challenges before. I was told to design a draft poster in A4 size. When everything was finalized, I was told to change the size to A3 in the last minute. Then I had to redesign this all over again. So try to communicate with your clients and encourage them to decide the document size even before editing takes place. For this tutorial, let's stick to A4 size, which is 210 mm wide and 297 mm height. So all of the pages in your document will be of this size. Points, picas, inches, millimeters, centimeters, ciceros, agates, and pixels are all supported by InDesign. You can keep whichever increment that suits you. In my case, inches. You can choose pixels as well. But why these increments are so important? I had explained that topic in rulers tutorial. Link is in the description. For orientation, if you want vertical page, choose portrait. And if you want horizontal page, then choose landscape. This right one. You can change the orientation of these pages later. So there is no need to worry about this right now. Let's choose portrait. Now, how many pages do you want? 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 100 pages? You just need to write those numbers over here. To specify the number of pages in the document, all you need to do is bring your cursor over here and move it until the cursor changes to black arrow icon. Move your cursor left and right to increase and decrease the numbers. You can also click on this preset input box and write the number. Let's write 10 pages. Now, facing pages. When it is checked, InDesign arranges the left and right pages facing each other, acting like a spread. When it is not checked, InDesign lets all the pages stand alone. First, turn on the preview. Let's turn on facing pages. You can see these 10 pages are arranged side by side in the whole document. The first page will always start from the right side. This option is used for magazines and booklets. However, if you are designing a flyer or a single page brochure, and if it doesn't have a spine, then you don't need this at all. More about every detailed secrets of facing pages. The tutorial link is available in the description. Next option is Start as hashtag. This is related to facing pages. You can write the number over here, with or without checking the facing pages. Let's turn on the preview from here. Let's turn on facing pages as well. Let's write 1 over here. See, nothing happened. Now, let's write 2 over here. See, the first page will begin as a 2-page spread. Now, if you write 3 over here, the page will begin as a single page. I hope I made everything clear for you. If you still have any doubt, feel free to post your comments. I will reply you as soon as possible. Next, primary text frame. Like I mentioned in my top 10 InDesign beginner's mistake tutorial, primary text frame has the ability to import all the data from other rich text format files into Adobe InDesign. It creates pages automatically depending on the length of the content. Let's import Microsoft Word data once again. You see, InDesign has created so many pages and where the contents end. If I press enter to shift this data to the next page, InDesign automatically creates a new page for you. My suggestion is, whenever you are importing large set of data into Adobe InDesign, always make sure primary text frame is checked. If you want to avoid making silly beginner mistakes in Adobe InDesign, check out this tutorial link that I had included in the description. Next, columns. Now, if you are designing a newspaper, magazine, blog article template, trifold brochure, and so on, then you should consider using columns in your InDesign document. It's not a rocket science. We all know what are rows and columns. However, it is necessary to break the content into columns for professional layouts. Let's create 4 columns. Turn on the preview. See, these pink lines are separating the content from each other. So, if I place the text over here, the text will be organized into 4 columns. However, some of you newbies usually draw a text frame and make their copies to work like a column. I would highly suggest you to never do this mistake. Use columns here. You can change the columns anytime later. Now, the next thing is column gutter. This is actually the spacing between the columns. Right now, it is set to 1.667 inches. Let's turn on the preview. As I am increasing the gutter size, the spacing between the columns is increasing. And when I reduce the number, the space decreases and so on. Usually, in my case, I keep 0.25 inches gutter spacing. You are free to choose any figure that suits your needs. Next, margins. Margin is where you are supposed to put all your content inside. It is usually the space between the edge of the page and the elements of your design. It consists of 4 inputs: left, right, inside and outside. Margins can range from 1 inch to 1.25 inches, depending on the length of your content. The space between the margin and the edge will be used for binding the book. However, if you are digitally publishing your content, then you don't really need margins at all. I had explained everything about the margins from A to Z. The margins tutorial link is included in the description. Next, bleeds and slugs. These are the parts of the printed document that is trimmed out to its original page size. So, whatever that lies outside the page is treated as bleed. Beyond bleed, we have slugs, where we can write the other less important data that would be used for the printers. Let's keep the bleed to 0.25 inches and slugs to 0.5 inches. To learn more about bleeds and slugs, I have included the tutorial link in the description. Tip of the day: Save document preset. Like I told you earlier in this tutorial, that I will show you how to save your own presets. Then have a look at this icon next to the name of the preset. Yes, that one. Once you have set everything on this specify options, and perhaps you want to keep the same settings for the future documents, then all you need to do is click on this icon. But first, let's rename it as My Personal Preset. Then click on the icon. Now, check in the Saved section. Your preset had been registered in the saved intent. Then you can freely use this preset anytime you want. Bonus tip of the day. So, you had created your document, but now you want to change some settings. Worry not. All you need to do is go to File and Document Setup. Shortcut key is Ctrl-Alt-P. From here, you can change all those settings that you made before. Number of pages, facing pages, page size, page orientation, margins, bleed and slugs. Note that you cannot change the primary text frames now. You can also not change the columns in this panel. Close this window. To change the column settings, go to Object and then Text Frame Options. Shortcut key is Ctrl-B. Then you can change all column settings over here. So, whenever you feel like using the same settings, just click on the personal preset. If you have any questions, you can email me on javasumro1988@gmail.com. You can also write a message to my Instagram page, Javasumro Studios. You can also follow my Facebook page as well, Jawad Sumro Productions. I hope you found this tutorial very helpful and informative regarding creating a new InDesign document. My next tutorial will be about drop caps, so stay tuned. Till my next video, check out how to do the automatic page numbering in Adobe InDesign. Sounds interesting? If that's not what you're looking for, then click on the suggested videos on the right side, because these might be the videos that you have been looking for and you must watch next. Subscribe me now if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this tutorial, smash that like button and share it with your friends. Hit that notification bell icon so that you never miss any update from my channel. I will see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye and take care.